Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Unicorns and Typewriters. My name is Skylar and I'm back today with another exciting booktube video. So in today's video, I wanted to do my May reading wrap up. So I wanted to talk to you all about the books that I read in the month of May. And I'm pretty excited about it because I read some really good books this month. And I actually still have about 2 days left of this month, I believe. So there is one book that I'm going to talk about that I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish, but I'm not quite finished yet. So yeah, let's get started. The first book that I read in the month of May was Shine Your Icy Crown by Amanda Lovelace. I absolutely loved this poetry book. I always love Amanda Lovelace's books. I think they're a lot of fun. I know that they kind of fall under that category of like, I don't know, some people think it's like kind of basic poetry, like Instagram poetry, but I think it's really fun and empowering and feminist, and I don't see why there's anything wrong with any of those things, and I really enjoy it. I think it's super accessible. It is very accessible to anyone who's interested in getting into poetry or feminism for that matter, and I think it's just well worth a read. I found these books to be really healing and empowering and just encouraging to me in my own journey, because these books really delve into women's experiences with relationships, family, life in general. And I think it's just really beautiful. I think all of her books are really beautiful, and I just really look forward to them and get really excited whenever a new one is coming out. This one I took a while to get, but I did get the Target exclusive edition in this light blue color. I believe the regular edition is like a gray color. But yeah, on the back it says, "The only one stopping you from holding the moon in your own two hands is you." And I think that's pretty true and also cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I highly suggest picking up Amanda Lovelace's books. I would start with her like first book if you're gonna start with them, but you could also just pick up this one. You don't have to start them in any particular order, which is also great about them as well. Highly recommend. Really enjoyed reading this one. The next book that I read in the month of May was I Love You So, Mochi by Kuhn, and I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's a very, I feel like it leans toward like the younger age group of young adult. Like it definitely could be read by kids that are like 12, 13, like 14, like who are just transitioning into young adult. There's nothing especially explicit about it. There's nothing especially sexy about it. I really wanted to read it because it sounded like it was going to be a story of self-discovery about a Japanese American girl who goes to Japan to visit her maternal grandmother first time after being pretty estranged, and then ends up sort of trying to figure out her purpose in life while she's in Japan. I thought that was a super cool concept, and I thought it was going to give me some really interesting ideas about sightseeing in Japan and places kind of off the beaten path, about this girl who's kind of trying to discover herself in Japan. And I thought that was really cool and exciting, and she's into fashion, which I think is really fun. And so I started reading it, and I definitely, in some ways I was a little bit let down because she does really only travel to super touristy areas in Japan that I had already heard of. And the book is also very centered around a very like insta-lovey kind of story about this boy that she meets. And I mean, they do have reasons to like each other and similarities and interests that kind of make sense. They're both very passionate, except for he's passionate about medical school and she's passionate about fashion and art. And I think it is a really cute, very, very cute love story also that is in here. But I was a little disappointed because it still kind of went off that idea that she sort of needed this boy to help her find herself. And that kind of bothered me because as someone who does enjoy feminist reads and books that empower girls, I felt like this fell a little bit into like she needed a boy to help her find herself. And I thought that was a little sad because I feel like this book had so much more potential than that. Overall, I still really enjoyed it. It was very cute. The boy, Akira, he is freaking adorable. Everything he does is adorable. This is like very rom-com-y, very cute, very PG-13. So like I said, definitely good for younger readers, I'm sure. And also because younger readers might not know that much about Japan, so the experiences she has in Japan might seem new to them. Whereas to me, as someone who's researched Japan a lot because I do want to travel there one day, and looked into a lot of Japanese culture and history throughout my years at school. But despite all of that, it's like, it's well written, it's a cute story, It's got some great messages about relationships and family and friendship, and I really loved it for those reasons. So overall, like, it's a good book. Like, it's a good book. I just think it could have been better. It could have been fantastic if, like I said, it wasn't so central on a love story, and if we had gotten some more information about Japan that was a little bit less touristy. So, you know, it was good. It was solid. It was cute. Do I recommend this as a nice, light love story for the summer? Yes. Am I interested in Sarah Kuhn's new book that recently came out? Yes, I would like to read her new book, so I'm definitely going to be looking into that. I think it was really good, cute writing, so there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'm curious to see what else she can do, and I think she could have done more with this book, but overall, still a really enjoyable read. The next book that I read in the month of May is Unhinged by A.G. Howard. I read Splintered, the first book in this series, back, I think, last year at one point, and I just had not gotten around to the next two books. I thought Splintered was really cool. What I really like about these books is sort of the dark aspect of Wonderland. What I really don't like about these books is the sort of toxic masculinity in the two male characters. It is a love triangle between Alyssa, the main character, and her two male co-characters. What am I saying? Between Morpheus and Jeb. If you've read this series, that becomes very, very apparent immediately in the first book. So I don't think I'm really being too spoilery by saying that, but it's definitely a love triangle. Jeb is a human boy. Morpheus is basically a carnation of the Mad Hatter and the Caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland as we know it. And so this person on the cover here is meant to be Morpheus. The two male characters, they are both just so possessive and controlling and manipulative over the main female character, Alyssa, and I really, really don't like that. There are some sections where I feel like the guys are being romantic. We all know that a good love triangle can be kind of fun if you haven't read one in a while. You know, it's kind of trashy, but it's also kind of fun. It's just fun. What I like the most about it, though, is the Dark Wonderland. The descriptions of the characters are so creepy and so much darker than the original Alice in Wonderland, and I really enjoy that. A lot of them are described as being like these sort of skeletal creatures that aren't really what we know of. Even the Tim Burton movie is not as dark as these books are, and I really, really enjoy that about them. And I think they just have such an interesting, unique spin on the world of Wonderland, and that's what's really kept me going. I have gotten deep enough into the love triangle that I want to know how it all works out, but honestly, sometimes I feel like both options kind of suck, which is honestly also like a big part of the love triangle trope. I feel like that happens a lot, which is part of the reason why love triangles suck. I feel like both options end up being kind of bad a lot of the time when that is a trope in the book. So I don't know. Right now, I am definitely leaning toward Morpheus if you've read these books personally, because I find Jeb to be pretty toxic. But like both the guys are like physically fighting over the main character half the time, and it's just too much. But you have to appreciate the fact that Morpheus is kind of like androgynous and has kind of like a feminine flair, and I think that is pretty cool too to have as one of the members of kind of like this love triangle. Usually I feel like you do get two very masculine characters that want to rip each other's throats out, and honestly I am kind of thinking of Twilight when I'm talking about this, but in this series they do want to rip each other's throats out, but they're not like, Morpheus isn't sort of the normal overly masculine character. He has got a lot of vanity and sort of, she calls him narcissistic, which I felt uncomfortable with because I feel like being a narcissist is actually a very negative thing. And he is kind of negative in some ways, but I also feel like he's just kind of self-centered and thinks he's like very pretty and likes to look at himself. And I think that's kind of hilarious as like in a love triangle like this. So it is kind of funny. And also he's magic, and he encourages Alyssa to be independent and to fight for, you know, everything, for whatever she's fighting for, and he kind of believes in her more than I feel like Jeb does. Jeb is kind of always trying to protect her, And that is kind of annoying as a reader, as a feminist. I'm like, dude, let her do her thing. She's a strong, independent woman. You need to back off. And sometimes he does. So I don't know. That's where I'm at. I don't always love these characters, but the dark Wonderland is what keeps me going, which is why I immediately started reading Ensnared after I finished Unhinged. So Ensnared is sort of supposed to have Jeb on the front cover. Alyssa's on the front cover of Splintered. And I only have about a third of it left. I'm also enjoying it. I feel like this series, honestly, I feel like this series is a little trashy, a little smutty, but it's also very PG-13 in the sense that nothing happens. There's just a lot of implications so far. I don't know, the last third of this book could be pornographic for all I know, but it's not the case so far. It's just very it's just smutty in the sense of a love triangle smutty. It's just constant tension. Constant sexual tension is happening in these books, and it's kind of hilarious. But anyway, I find it kind of hilarious, kind of terrible. These did come out in the earlier 2000s, so I've got to excuse them a little bit because I think we were more okay with toxic masculinity back then than we are now. We were more okay with love triangles than we are now. Overall, I'm just having a fun time reading these. And it's a mixture between they make me laugh and I actually do find them to be exciting. Wonderland is interesting and dark and creepy and cool. And I do really want to know what happens next. They definitely have kept me on the edge of my seat. And I think they are super corny sometimes and really make me laugh in kind of not a super positive way, and because they are so corny and bad sometimes. But also, I'm just enjoying them, so it's fun. It's just fun. But yeah, I do think I will finish Ensnared in the next 2 days before this month is over. When I'm done it, perhaps I will do a whole video on this series. It seems like you guys enjoyed my video on the Raven cycle, so maybe I will do a video like that and go over this series and kind of rant a little bit about it as well, and probably include spoilers. If you would like to see a video where I talk about the series when I'm finished, comment down below. Let me know in the comments if you want to see it. I'll probably do it anyway, but it's always nice to be supported. So yeah, I'm also in the middle of reading 2 other books, but I might finish one of them in the month of May, but I'm not 100% sure. The other one I'm definitely not going to finish in the month of May because it's a super long book and I am having a hard time getting into it, and I'm not even completely sure that I'm not going to DNF it. So I will tell you if that is the case, if I decide to do that, but I don't want to mention it now because it might be in next month's wrap up, or I'll talk about it in my TBR maybe for next month. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like it down below. Comment about what you think about these books if you've read them as well. And please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. As a side note, as you can see, I did something fun with my hair. So I don't know, let me know below if you like it or don't. No, you're all so sweet to me, and you all have said some of the sweetest things ever in the comments. And also on Instagram, someone recently told me that I look like Jude, or what they pictured Jude would look like from the Cruel Prince series. And guys, too sweet. There are a few times where I felt that complimented in my life because Jude is such a kick-ass, awesome character. And the fact that someone out there thinks I look like Jude, or what they pictured Jude to look like, is so sweet. I was so blown away by that compliment. Anyway, you guys are wonderful. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I will be back with another new booktube video soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.